Near Brambly Hedge, there was a stream. On the banks of the stream were the flour and the dairy mills. The flow of the water turned the wheels which ground the flour and churned the butter for the mice who lived in the hedge. Poppy Eyebright looked after the dairy stump. She supervised the large vat into which milk, kindly given by some friendly cows, was poured and stored. The many kitchens where cheeses were drained and shaped, smoked and wrapped, were also in her care. When her work was finished, she would wander out by the mill wheel, enjoying the splashes of cool water. The flour mill, further down the stream, was run by the miller, Dusty Dogwood. Dogwood was his family name, but he was called Dusty because he was always covered from tail to whiskers with flour dust. Dusty loved the fine weather and strolled up and down the stream, nodding shyly to the paddlers and dabblers. His walks took him past the dairy, where he would often see Poppy, looking very pretty. As the days went by, Dusty used to spend more and more time walking up to the dairy, and Poppy used to go out more and more often to the mossy shadows of the mill wheel. Their story begins on a very hot day in early summer. The sun had risen high in the blue sky and the fields shimmered in the heat. The hedgerow was quiet. Many of the mice stayed inside their shady cottages trying to keep cool. But for those who ventured out of doors, the best place to be was down by the stream. Several mice gathered there, sitting under the bank in the shade, dangling their paws and tails in the clear water, or playing Toss the Pebble. Young Wilfred Toadflax had challenged Primrose Woodmouse to a game, and the score was 3-all.
If I get this one in, I win!
Wilfred, look!
So, it's just Dusty and Poppy.
Don't they look happy? Oh.
Soppy, more like. I won! Last one to the store stump is a weasel!
There's only one weasel round here, Wilfred Toadflax, and that's you!
Wilfred was probably the only mouse in Brambly Hedge who wasn't wondering when Dusty might ask Poppy the most important question a mouse could ask.
So do you think he'll ask her soon?
Well, he'll never get the answer if he doesn't ask the question. But you know Dusty. He's shy as a mole.
Hello, Mrs. Eyebright. Hello, Mrs. Apple.
Hello, Primrose dear.
Oh, she'll never find me.
Have you been down by the stream?
Yes, and I saw Dusty and Poppy talking.
Oh, do you think he's finally asking her to marry him?
No. There are far too many mice around.
Oh, not in this heat, there aren't.
Poppy and Dusty didn't look as if they noticed anybody but each other.
Hey, she's forgotten all about me.
Do you think she'll say yes when he does ask her?
Weren't you looking for someone?
Oh, Wilfred,
You forgot! We're meant to be playing hide and seek. I'm going home.
They do seem to be awfully fond of each other.
If only Dusty weren't so shy.
Hello, Wilfred.
Can I do some painting, please, Mum?
In a minute, Wilfred. When we finish talking.
Just think, if Dusty asks her soon, they could have a midsummer wedding.
Oh, not you as well.
Now, what was all that about?
Hello, Mrs. Toadflax. Hello, Mama. Have you seen... Thanks!
Poppy, Dusty, Dusty, Poppy. Will he, won't he, won't he, will he? That's all anyone can talk about around here.
And why not, Wilfred Toadflax? It's so exciting and romantic. Everybody's wondering.
Well, I'm not wondering. So it's not everybody.
I love weddings.
Why's Dusty taking so long to ask Poppy anyway?
Maybe he's worried that she'll say no.
But she won't, will she?
Of course not. Poppy's longing for him to ask. I'm sure of it.
How's Dusty supposed to know that? Isn't there a way to let him know how Poppy feels so he won't be afraid to ask her?
That's it, Wilfred. You're brilliant.
I know. Look at this.
Oh, it's Dusty and Poppy. It's lovely.
No, it's not. It's me and Teasel being explorers.
Oh, never mind that now. Listen to my idea. Suppose I bring Poppy to the stream and you bring Dusty, but, and this is important, we can't let them see each other.
Why not?
Because I'm going to find a chance to ask Poppy who she wants to marry. Well, Primrose, didn't you say there was something you wanted me to help you with? Yes. I've been playing weddings and I can't get my veil on properly. Will you show me how, please? Of course.
Dusty? Shh. In a minute, Wilfred.
Oh, Poppy, you look beautiful. Just like a real bride. Who would you like to marry? Oh, the mouse I'd like to marry is the kindest, handsomest mouse in Brambly Hedge. I'm hoping he'll be my husband before the summer is out.
Oh. Did you hear that, Dusty?
Kindest,
Dusty?
handsomest mouse in
Wilfred had no idea what had happened. One moment, Dusty was there listening to Poppy talk about how she wanted to marry the kindest, handsomest mouse in Brambly Hedge. And the next moment, he was gone.
Surely the kindest, handsomest mouse in Brambly Hedge can't wait to be your husband, Poppy. I don't know. I can't understand why he hasn't asked me yet. I think Dusty's just shy, don't you? Oh, yes. That's one of the things I love about him the most. Bye, Poppy! And thanks for helping me. Thank you, Primrose. I really enjoyed our chat. Wilfred, where's Dusty?
I don't know. When Dusty heard what she said about the kindest, handsomest...
Wilfred.
When he heard what she said, he looked a bit funny. And then he rushed off.
What do you mean, funny?
Well, I don't know. Sick, I suppose. All this wedding stuff is enough to make anyone ill.
Maybe you'd better go and see if he's all right.
I'm sure it's nothing serious. All right, I'm going.
Wilfred wasn't certain that calling on Dusty was the best thing to do. After all, the poor mouse was obviously not feeling well, and probably just wanted to be left alone.
Dusty? Dusty? Are you all right?
Of course, Wilfred, I'm fine. Why shouldn't I be? I just had a bit of bad news, that's all.
Bad news? What bad news? When? It couldn't have been what Poppy said. That was good news.
I'm sorry. I disagree.
Why? Don't you want to marry her?
Of course I want to marry her. More than anything else in the world. But she clearly wants to marry someone else.
Does she? Who?
The kindest, handsomest mouse in Brambly Hedge, that's who.
But Dusty, she was talking about you.
She was? She thinks I'm the kindest, handsomest mouse in Brambly Hedge.
And everybody, except maybe me, has been wondering when you're going to ask her to... Dusty? Now what?
Poppy!
Dusty.
I need to talk to you. In private.
At sunset the same day, in front of the old oak palace, Lord Woodmouse, Poppy, and Dusty waited as everyone along the hedgerow gathered for a special announcement.
This could be the moment we've all been waiting for.
You mean he finally asked her?
I hope this means that everyone will talk about something else now.
That's right. We'll be able to talk about the wedding.
Friends, Dusty has something he would like to tell you all.
Poppy, excuse me. Poppy and I, Poppy and I are going to be married.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
That's wonderful news, my dear.
Yes, congratulations to you both.
When's the happy day?
Hope it's going to be soon so we can get it over with.
It's Midsummer's Day.
Not soon enough.
And we're going to be married on a raft on the stream.
On a raft? Wow! Wow!
I'd like Conker to be my best mouse.
I'd be delighted.
And because Wilfred and Primrose were so helpful in encouraging me to ask Poppy today.
I'd like Primrose to be one of my bridesmaids. Oh, thank you, Poppy.
And I'd like Wilfred to help with the raft.
Really? Do you really want me to help?
Wouldn't do it without you.
Oh, Dusty! I can't wait!
All the mice were delighted with the news of Poppy and Dusty's engagement. It seemed as if Midsummer's Day would never come. But the mice had plenty to keep themselves busy. A large, flat piece of bark was carefully chosen and then dragged down to the water's edge to be made into the wedding raft. Poppy spent every free moment embroidering her wedding dress, which she hid as soon as she saw anyone coming along the path. The wedding day dawned at last. The sky was clear and blue, and it was hotter than ever. The kitchens of Brambly Hedge were soon full of activity. Cool summer foods were being made. There was cold watercress soup, fresh dandelion salad, honey creams, syllabubs, and meringues. Wilfred, Teasel, Clover, and Catkin had been up early to gather a huge basket of wild strawberries, which Wilfred had been asked by his mother to deliver to Crabapple Cottage.
Wow!
Wilfred finished his chores as quickly as he could. He couldn't wait to join Dusty and help with the more exciting work of finishing the raft.
Well, I'll be off down to the stream now.
Oh, no, you don't. Off you go.
Good morning, Wilfred. Where are you going in such a hurry? My, oh my, Mrs. Apple. That looks quite wonderful.
Yes, I have to say I agree. But I only hope it's still in one piece by the time they're married.
Yes. Well, Wilfred, I think we might go to the stream to check on the progress of the raft, don't you?
For the past few days, Dusty, Flax, and Conker had been busy decorating the raft. It was going to be beautiful. Now they were just putting the finishing touches to it. Meanwhile, someone else was very busy as well. In her rooms above the dairy, Poppy dressed carefully. As she dabbed rosewater behind her ears, she felt nervous and excited and very, very happy.
Oh, Poppy, you look so beautiful. Thank you, Primrose. Are these the flowers you want me to put on your hat? They're the same ones that Dusty's using to decorate our wedding raft. I know. Wilfred hasn't been able to talk about anything but your raft ever since Dusty asked him to help with it.
But the raft was here yesterday.
Ah, yes. Dusty told me they might move it downstream where there is more shade.
Oh, I hope I haven't missed anything.
Wedding, it's a lovely day for a wedding.
What's that?
A wedding.
Hello, Basil.
Isn't it exciting, Lord Woodmouse? A wedding. I love weddings. Perfect occasion for my meadowsweet wine and strawberry cordial.
Basil, have you seen the raft?
I remember the last wedding we had. It was when young Flax and Lily Weaver were married.
Basil, the raft. Please, where's the raft?
The raft? Oh, the raft. They've just moved it down by the buttercups where there's more shade.
Thanks, Basil. See you later.
While Wilfred ran as quickly as he could towards the buttercups, Flax Weaver, Mr. Apple, Mr. Toadflax, and some mice from the palace had finished decorating the raft and were pulling it into position.
That's it. Perfect. Oh, no, it's finished. I wanted to be here.
We waited as long as we could, Wilfred.
I'm sorry, but first I had to gather strawberries, and then I had to deliver them to Crabapple Cottage, and then
Never mind, Wilfred. How would you like to help your father tie the raft to the shore? It's a very important job.
Oh, yes, Mr. Apple. I'm really good at tying knots, aren't I, Dad?
I believe you are, Wilfred.
Well, I'd better go and help Mrs. Apple carry the food. See you later.
Well, Wilfred, do you know how to make your knot nice and tight?
Yes, like this.
That looks nice and tight to me. Now that we've made the raft fast, we'd best get home to get ready.
Wilfred and his father weren't the only ones hurrying to get dressed for the wedding. At that moment, Dusty was pulling out the basket where he kept his best suit to protect it from the moths. Just as he was tucking a daisy into his buttonhole, he remembered that he hadn't checked some barley that he had ground the day before. He ran up the steps at such a pace that the whole mill seemed to shake.
Oh, bother!
Dusty! Dusty!
Oh, no. It's Conker.
Are you ready? It's time to go. Look at you!
Oh, no. I couldn't help it.
Dusty by name, dusty by nature.
The flowery dust swirled and settled again on whiskers, tails, best clothes, and buttonholes. The two friends looked at each
Dusty! Conker! Hurry! Everyone's waiting!
Oh, I can't be late for Poppy.
Oh, come on, let's go.
Well, that's the wine cooling for when we need it.
Dusty and Conker are on their way!
Oh, look, here they come.
We're here.
And so is most of the flower in Brambly Hedge.
Look, here comes the bride.
Dusty and the wedding guests looked back in horror as the runaway raft floated further and further away from Poppy, her bridesmaids, and Wilfred.
The knots didn't hold!
We've got to catch that raft!
You'll tear your dress. I'll catch it.
You'll have to catch it quickly, before it gets to the place where the stream widens out. If it gets that far, we might never get them back. Hurry! Hurry!
Wilfred, hurry!
I'm going as fast as I can! Oh! Here! Dusty! Grab this and tie it to the raft!
Oh, dear.
I'll try again!
Bother!
Dusty! I've got an idea!
I hope so, Wilfred.
Right over left, left over right, pull straight, and pull again. Here, Dusty, catch this!
I got it! Well done, Wilfred. Oh, Wilfred. Now what we gonna do? We're nowhere near where we started. Poor Poppy.
I know, Dusty. I'm sorry. We'll just have to pull the raft back.
You'll do nothing of the kind. I waited a long time for you to ask me to marry you, Dusty Dogwood. And I'm not waiting a minute longer. Music, please. Hooray!
Poppy Eyebright, do you love Dusty Dogwood? And will you love him and care for him forever and ever?
I will.
Dusty Dogwood, do you love Poppy Eyebright? And will you love her and care for her forever and ever?
I will.
Then in the name of the flowers and the fields, the stars in the sky, the streams that flow down to the sea, and the mystery that breathes wonder into all these things, I now pronounce you mouse and wife.
To the bride and groom, may their tails grow long, their eyes be bright, and and all their squeaks be little ones.
After the vows and the kiss and Mr. Apple's toast came the dancing and the feasting.
Don't you want to dance, Alfred?
Not at the moment, dear.
Do you mean to tell me you'd rather eat?
Oh, I can eat any old time.
Oh, Alfred!
Phew. Oh, it seems I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, nonsense, dear. Oh, do you remember?
When we got married? Of course I do, dear. It was the happiest day
of my life. Alfred, we'll be carried out to sea.
Don't worry, it's just us.
Can't have a wedding party without my meadow sweet wine.
I couldn't agree more, Basil.
Aren't weddings fun? This is the most wonderful day of my life.
Oh, I do love you, Poppy.
At last, dusk came, golden and misty over the fields. The blue sky slowly darkened and the mice began to think about getting home. All the food was finished up, and the pots and pans hidden in the rushes to be collected the next day. Flax and Lily Weaver saw old Vole home.
Good night, Flax. Good night, Lily.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Sleep tight.
The rest of the tired mice walked back through the fields in the evening sun. They were more than ready for their beds. Wilfred in particular was exhausted, but very happy. He never thought a wedding could be so much fun. And what happened to Poppy and Dusty? They slipped quietly away to the primrose woods. The primroses were over, but there, hidden amongst the long grass and ferns, wild roses and honeysuckle, was the cottage in which they had chosen to stay. It was the perfect place for a honeymoon.